YouTube.
Hey, Miss, I thought you'd go home and do that.
Well, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to see how well I like doing this, and then if I like it, then we'll do it more.
I want to be in the background.
Right?
Okay.
You're on sick.
You can hear everything, yeah.
Savvy.
Okay, stop. So this should be just kind of a review of what we've already done. We'll have your real review on Thursday. We'll have your unit test on Friday. And tomorrow we'll have like another small lesson. It'll be something called correlation coefficient. It won't be a huge deal, but it's something we still have to talk about, okay? Okay, correlation coefficient. So today our lesson is going to be over writing linear equations. So you should already know how to write linear equations given all of these different scenarios. So the first one is a slope and a y-intercept. So what is the form that I can use if I'm given a slope and a y-intercept?
Y equals
mx plus b.
Very good. Y equals mx plus b. So what is that form called? Slope,
intercept.
intercept. Form.
Form.
Form of a what? What kind of graph does it
Line.
make? Of a line. Cool. So it's y equals mx plus b. So what is the slope?
1/3.
1/3. So that would be my m. So it's going to be y equals 1/3 x.
Plus 5. Negative, no, minus 5.
So this is the b. So it's going to be minus 5.
Good job, Jerry.
Good job. So if I have plus and then a negative, it really just makes negative. Because adding a negative is just subtracting. Okay? Questions about that one?
No.
No, you're pretty good. Okay, so what about if I have standard form and I need to get it back into slope intercept? What do I have to
You
do?
need to find y.
We need to find y. So 4x minus 2y equals 14. So what's my first step?
Move the x.
How do I move it?
Subtract 4.
Zeros? Oh, 0 here.
0 parrot, okay. So it cancels. I can draw my river. Bring down negative 2y equals. Does it matter if I do 14 minus 4x or negative 4x plus 14?
No.
No, the order doesn't matter, right? As long as I've got both of them down. Okay, so we can do negative 4x plus 14. We'll leave it the same. Okay, and what's my last step?
Divide by
Divide by -2.
Good. And make sure you divide everything by -2.
Or you know what you get? You get y equals 2x minus 7.
Excellent. So I ran out of room here, but it's going to be y equals 2x minus 7. Good job.
He's on a roll today.
Y'all are on a roll.
Oh, I'm right.
All right. So let's look at the next one. So if I'm given a graph, how am I going to find
The triangle.
the triangle?
Rise over run.
Rise over. Wow, y'all really are on a roll.
Roll.
Ooh. Okay. So to find my m, my slope, it's going to be rise over run. What point do I usually start with?
The line
The y-intercept. So that y-intercept is right here. So the y-intercept is my b in the y equals mx plus b. So we already know what it is, right? This is here at -2. Or is it -2 or I think it's -1.
Oh,
Because here's your axis.
this chart.
I know, it doesn't have the best printout. Okay, so b is actually -1. So what is my slope?
Negative half.
Let's try to, there's a point way over here. So what we could do is rise and then
2
run.
over 5.
Okay, so we rose 2 and then I ran 5, but I went to the left, so what's that mean?
Negative.
Negative. Cool.
Oh, I didn't see that point. Shoot.
Okay, so what is my equation?
2 over negative 2.
-2 over 5. What comes after my slope?
B.
Minus 1.
We're missing something.
Oh, and.
X, because if I forget the X, you're going to end up with just a horizontal line. Because if Y equals just a number and there's no X, remember that's ahoy. So make sure you put your X. Ahoy. All right, so next scenario, I'm given a point and a slope. How do I get an equation from a point and a slope?
You went from that point slope and then you change it to that.
You got it. So if I'm given a point and a slope, we're going to put this in point, slope form, and then we can solve it back to put it in y-intercept. So what is point slope form?
It's
Y equals.
no, it's y1, y2 minus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're getting them kind of confused. So the equation you just told me, the y2 minus y1, that's just the equation for slope. But point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, you were going to get there? Okay. All right, so then now we go ahead and plug in our numbers. So does the first y change?
No.
No, it just stays y. So y minus 3, because this ordered pair is going to be x1, y1, so minus 3, equals, very good, that's my m, so negative 3 times x,
Plus 1.
how come it's plus?
Because of the negative or negative.
Oh, so when I subtract negative 1, it actually makes that into a big plus sign, right? Good. So now we can keep simplifying this. Y minus 3 equals, and I'll distribute my negative 3. So we'll have negative 3x minus 3.
And then remove that 3 to the top.
How do I move it?
0 here.
0 pair. So we add it on both sides. So y equals
Negative 3x.
negative 3x. And this is 0. And most of the time when it's just like plus or minus 0, we don't really write it. So we could just leave it like this. Does that look familiar
Yeah.
to like yesterday's lesson?
Kind of.
Yeah. So what could I call that?
That thing we did yesterday.
What was that thing?
Variation.
Variation. What kind of
Slope and
variation?
Slope and
Direct variation. Okay. So now let's look at the last scenario. I have 2 points. So
you're gonna like subtract them.
so it's like rise over run, right? But I've got to do it with a formula. So this time, Jerry, I think you've got the formula for
Yeah, y2 minus y3.
minus y3.
Oh, y2. Oh, y.
Okay, so let's see.
Good job, Jerry.
M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, for some people, they're like, I don't really understand the equation. Well, if you need to, you can put this in the form of a table and write your ordered pairs, so like negative 4, negative 7, 8, negative 13, to get your slope.
Can we do that in the calculator too?
So is there a way that I could do this in the calculator too? Is there?
Yes.
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 Remember when, let me clear my memory real quick. Okay, remember when we went to this button, stat,
Oh, yeah.
and then we went to edit, and you can type in ordered pairs. So if I do that, this would be my table. So what is the calculator going to do for me?
It's
Then
gonna
I
give you
the
the
whole
thing.
list of.
The whole thing, right? So then I would go back to stat. Then we're going to go over to calc because we're going to make it do all our calculations. And then I'm going to go to number 4. So yours looks a little bit different than mine. Mine's an older calculator. When I press enter, it tells me this. So what is my slope?
Your slope is a half.
Negative a half, good. And what is my y-intercept?
Negative.
Very good. So we already know the equation, right? The calculator just told us it's y equals negative 1/2 x minus 9. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this by hand, just so that we all know how to do it, okay? So if I would have continued this way with my ordered pairs, either way, whether you want to do it like this or you want to just subtract the numbers, we should still get to that negative 1/2. So if I do y2 minus y1, I'm going to get negative 13 minus negative 7. And if I went this way, like the second one to the first one, on the top, I've got to do the same thing again. The second one to the first one for my x's on the bottom. So we're going to do 8 minus negative 4. So I've got a big mess over here, so let's clean it up. So I have two big ugly plus signs here, right? So those are going to become plus. So I've got negative 13 plus 7. What's that? Negative 6, good. And then I've got 8 plus 4, which is 12, okay? So I get negative 1/2, very good. So did I still get the same answer the calculator got?
Yeah.
Yes, and if I would have, oh, go ahead, Jerry.
You just think it's the y-intercept.
We just need to get the y-intercept. Now, what's the way we would do it if we're doing it by hand?
We don't know.
Don't know? So I have points and I have a slope.
Point slope.
Point
Yes.
slope. So if I were to go to my next step, it would be y minus, and then I would just choose one of these. I'd probably choose the second one because at least I have one that's not negative. So y minus negative 13, which is going to be plus 13, equals m, which we found was 1/2, negative 1/2, times x minus 8. Okay? Is it the exact answer the calculator gave me? Mm, yeah, maybe, but what do I still need to do? Yeah, we just got to simplify this and get y by itself. So, oops, there we go. So negative 1/2 x plus half of 8, which is what? What's half of 8?
4.
4. Okay, and then we're going to subtract 13. Now I've run out of room, so I'm going to go over to the side. So I should get y equals negative 1/2 x, and then 4 minus 13 will give me negative 9. Okay? So did I get the same answer? Yes. I got the same answer. So if you're good, like with doing the stat on your calculator and you can do it that way, that's fine. Is there going to be like a star police officer or a unit test police officer that says if you use the calculator it's wrong?
Yes.
No.
He's at home.
There's not going to be one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing.